So then, as I'm sure a lot of you are aware by now, Alton Towers did in fact a few weeks ago submit planning permission for a new structure which they are planning on putting next to the curse at Alton Manor at the park. And this of course caused a lot of people to speculate as what it will be used for if it is approved by the Staffordshire Moorlands District Council and what we could see go in there. And that is essentially what I'm going to go over in this video, because this is something which I've been very excitedly sort of going over in my head and thought I'd love to make a video on, even if it is a few weeks old news at this point. So then I think it makes sense to go through the details of what we know about this space before I go into what I think it could be used for. And what we do know is it's planned to go next to where the curse at Alton Manor currently sits, with a planned entrance/exit path in that will be used in one, which will be located opposite the toilet block next to the curse at Alton Manor, with this building looking awful similar to survival games at Thorpe Park. Like nearly identical from the exterior at least. It really does look quite similar. So then I'll go on to the things which I think need to be mentioned because it's highly possible, even if I'm kind of hoping against it. And the first thing which I think there is a possibility of it being used for is an indoor event space, in that you see a lot at sort of like Winter Wonderland and other events. They've got indoor spaces that they can use. You can have like live entertainment while using it as essentially a bar for the guests. So you can go get drinks and some food while you're enclosed in a space, so you're not subjected to sort of the cold British weather, especially if it's going to be later in the year. You sometimes have it in an indoor space, which with it having the canopy section in the middle, it would be a space which could be logically used as sort of an indoor event space. And there is also an awful lot of things that it could be. It could be a new merch store that they're planning on opening. I doubt it personally with that one, because you've obviously got the Curses merch store really close to it, but it's always possible that they could be using it for that. It could be an immersive experience that's going to be open all year round, a lot like Black Mirror Labyrinth was at Thorpe Park. And I'll be honest, I'm praying against that because I don't really want to see the space used for that, because I've kind of thought that one thing in my head, which a lot of people have been thinking, and I've ran away with that idea. And that is for this space to be used at Scarefest, because with the building looking so similar to survival games at Thorpe Park, which is a scare maze, it would make sense to use this space for a scare maze. Now what I will say is I am praying that it is nothing like survival games at Thorpe Park, mainly because I don't think that sort of maze would fit at Towers. I think it would make more sense for them to go into the themed element of the storytelling part of it, with it being obviously immersive and yes, scary, but less with the sort of survival games as becomes that very hustle bustle, being pushed and shoved around and being thrown and shouted at. I think Towers could do something a little bit more extravagant with this if they were to build it. And what I think we could most likely see this space used for is 3 separate types of scare attraction. The first one is theming it into Emily Alton, with it being next to the curse at Alton Manor. It would make perfect sense, and that is a ghost train sort of ride. You could have a scare maze theme to it, and it would also market towards they have a lot of family visit the park, given that the curse at Alton Manor is meant for families, with it not being majorly intense. You could have it as sort of your intermediate scare maze for the event. It would be very cool to see. After that, I think something which I would personally love to see, but I don't know if it's a bit too far away from the area to happen, and that is see it themed to the Phalanx, because now that we've had Nemesis Reborn open and it has gone down a storm, it really has done really well. I would love to see that storyline expanded into a scare maze. Now obviously, as I just said, it is a little bit too far away from Forbidden Valley in my opinion for it to sort of work. You would kind of leave the theme of Forbidden Valley, then go back into it in this scare maze. So I don't think that's personally likely. And the other thing which I really think we could be seeing at the park is it being used as a completely new theme. Because a lot of people, and myself included, I can't say that I haven't been saying this for a lot of years, criticise the fact that we have returning mazes at the park. And there is a high possibility the park may have seen this and gone, well, we'll give you something completely new. And we'll make a completely new storyline to it, making it something we've never seen before with its own new theme and everything like that. Which I think is highly possible, because Alton Towers really is the park to do it. And with Bianca making amazing changes for this season at the park, she really has done a great job. I think that now that she's in charge of the Towers Resort, now is the most likely time than ever that we would see something like this come to the park. So then I'd love to know what you think. You might think it won't even be used for Scarefest, because there is a very high chance it won't be. It's not been confirmed anywhere, so it could not be for Scarefest at all. So I'd love to know what you think. Do you think it will be used for Scarefest or something else? And if you do think it's for Scarefest, what do you think will be in there? I'd love to know what you think, because this really is just me reading through the information that we've seen online and seeing what other people have mentioned of it and gone, oh, I agree with that, no, I don't agree with that, and built my own opinion around it, so I haven't really had a chance to discuss it with people. So please do let me know what you think. If you did enjoy this video, please do like and subscribe. It really does make the world of difference and really does help this channel out. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.